Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you are all doing fabulous. I hope you are all living your best lives, deciding to be the versions of self that have whatever it is you're manifesting. If you're new to my channel, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I love to get what I want, and I am obsessed with knowing everything there can be to know about who we are and how that works in with manifestation, because we are always ever manifesting the who we are. Thank you very much. And I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed with getting what I want, because it's more fun getting what you want, don't you think? I know you think so too. So why don't you hit that subscribe button and come back and see me? Listen, today is a good day. Today's a good day because today we are going to get a little zhuzh about why you have nothing to worry about when it comes to whatever it is you're manifesting. So we're going to skip through the typical intros and we're going to hop right in. If you want to work with me, all that information is in the drop box below. Okay? Okay. So, first and foremost, I have said this before in plenty of videos, and that is the understanding of the who we are and why it is we can manifest and the power behind it. And the power behind it is the all-knowing universe, God, I am. We are all pure, unadulterated consciousness. Okay? Every single one of us. And as Ernest Holmes wrote, these practices begin and end within man, for he is the center of his own universe, and nothing happens to him unless he lets it. Know that life flows through you and cannot be hindered in its expression. Know that the all good is yours now. Act, think, believe, speak as though you were now all that you have ever dreamed. And be sure that you believe the same thing about all people, for none of us lives unto himself alone, but each lives unto all within the one life. I'm not telling you got to be happy and positive all the time. I'm not. I'm saying I can quote you so many different books, so many different gurus from days gone by that are all preaching the same type of message. They just change up the wording. You are limitless, flawless, pure, unadulterated consciousness. That's who you are. That's who I am. Everyone watching this video is that consciousness. So whatever it is that you are personally manifesting, when you are looking at your 3D world and you're not satisfied with it, those are the moments that we tend to let us get distracted. We tend to maybe have an experience. Let's say we had a bad day at work. And we take that with us home. And we start thinking about all the things that we're unsatisfied with. And where does that lead us other than distraction? Where does it lead us? It leads to you continuously focusing, believing, and knowing that you don't like your life. You don't like how things are. You want things to change. The desire for change is not the bad thing. We're always going to have desires. We're always going to have experiences of things moving and grooving. That's okay. That's the whole point of us being here, is fulfilling our desires. But our mind is so powerful that the all-knowing universe, the all-knowing God, the I am, high power, source energy, moonbeams, whatever it is you personally believe is the absolute all, gave us the ability of focus, attention, awareness to create our world. And it's not even really creating, it's choosing, it's deciding, it's being aware of. Most of us find manifestation from a shitty experience, and that might be something you're experiencing right now, something you're afraid of, something you're afraid won't change. Maybe it's you're manifesting money and you're struggling to pay bills right now. Maybe it's because you just had a breakup and you're trying to manifest your person back. Maybe you just want new love in general. Maybe you have a health condition. Maybe you have something shitty and negative that you're experiencing right now and that you want extreme, immediate change. How to do that is to start utilizing your imagination. I think that sometimes people misunderstand when we say to use the imagination, that's implying that you must sit and visualize. You think in pictures regardless. If you like to spout off affirmations, that's fine. They're creating little mental pictures anyway. So you don't have to overthink this. Some of us are so brand new to this that we want a clear, constructive plan on what to do to get the desire. There is nothing wrong with wanting a little structure in your manifestation game. But the power isn't in the instructions or the structure. The power is within your imagination. On my channel, I refer to a technique of deciding who you want to be. Period. You make a decision. You want to be rich? Then I am the version of self that is rich. I am the version of self that has $1 million in her bank account. That's who I am. I am whoever I choose to be. But what we typically do that ruins it for us, and by ruins it, I just mean ruins your mood, it ruins your trust, is we immediately look out into the 3D and start listing off all the things that we don't like. We start looking at the 3D, and again, we're listing off all the things that we're experiencing that is telling us you are not that millionaire. You are not that rich person. You are not that person who's in the relationship with your specific person. And that is completely opposite of what we should be doing. What we want to do is bring our attention and our awareness, our focus on who we want to be. Because out here in the 3D is the manifestation of an old version of you. And your world out here in that 3D, that can change really, really fast. But I know that's a little bit too much to believe if you don't have a lot of experience with conscious manifestation. But I consistently get comments of people saying that when they finally stood in conviction, as in they weren't going to accept no for an answer, they were not going to let anything out in the 3D tell them a different story, that's when things started changing. And therefore, they received some evidence that whatever it is that they're choosing to align themselves with, they're noticing that things are starting to change rapidly. And it can for you too. But it starts with you standing in conviction, affirming to yourself that you are the you that has whatever it is you're manifesting. I am the version of self who's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. That's who I am. Some of you, the moment I just said that affirmation, thought of your specific person. For some of you, maybe that was an upsetting thought. Because of when you think about your specific person, you are so attached to what is currently happening in the 3D, it makes you sad. Maybe it makes you angry. And these are the little nuances of what we want to get ourselves around. Meaning, when we feel resistive to whatever it is we're manifesting, we don't want to start fighting the thoughts. We don't want an internal battle in here. Instead, we want to place our awareness somewhere else. So logically and literally speaking, if it feels painful, if you have resentment, if you have a shitty story around what you're manifesting, then instead let's place the awareness on you being the you that believes in manifestation and is trusting that it will work for you. And that will shift your state. You might fall right back out of it because that feels too hard to believe. But you see, you are so amazing. There are infinite versions of you. You can pick any you want. But my biggest piece of advice is get your clutches off of the 3D world. In other words, stop letting 3D control you. It's not always easy, but it can be with discipline. Right now in this moment, this is gonna trigger some of you, but some of you are exactly where you need to be. Some of you are right exactly at the place you need to be. And if in this moment you're hearing me say that and you're thinking, are you kidding me? My life sucks tits right now. How is this I'm supposed to be here? This makes no sense. Why would I deliberately put myself here? Well, you did. You got yourself there. But there's no point in beating ourselves up. Instead, let's take a look at why we're where we are. I bet, wherever you are at in this moment, if we really were to take some kind of an inventory of what you believed about yourself up until this moment, your 3D matches it. So you are exactly where you are based off who you are. So can you imagine if you started placing your awareness on who you want to be and started identifying as that new self? Things would change for you. But this is why I bring up, get your hands off the 3D and let it unfold freely. Let it unfold. It's always unfolding. You are always shifting, changing, evolving. Let this out here unfold. And trust that everything you're experiencing is leading to your final outcome. And by final, I just mean whatever you're currently manifesting. You'll just want something else after it manifests, right? That's what we do as humans. We get inspired, we get new desires, and we start identifying as a different new self to get that desire. I know some of you just want a fucking text message from your specific person. I know that. Some of you want a big check for $1 million. And maybe there's some circumstances in your 3D that are screaming at you that you are not the versions of yourselves that you want to be. More than likely, you've been letting your mind run amok, and that's why we are where we are at. But this isn't about blaming and shaming. This is not why I'm bringing it to your attention. I'm saying, if you can see that your reality is matching where you have allowed your mind to dominantly go, can you imagine if you took my advice and started placing your awareness, your focus, your attention, and you started telling yourself, I am this version of self, whatever version it is. I am that version of self. I am the me that is in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I am the version of myself that is, comfortably financially set for life. Who you start telling yourself that you are, you're changing your subconscious mind, because I think it's really important to be aware. Now listen, I know we're taught in this community that in order to change your 3D world, you must impress your subconscious mind. But doesn't that sound like your subconscious is running the ship? And you don't have a lot of control, and it must be difficult to change your subconscious. And that's the first misunderstanding of the who we are. And there's a million things for sale that are going to tell you how to change your subconscious mind. When in reality, there's so much free content on YouTube. You don't need to buy anything to understand the conscious mind controls the subconscious mind. Do you hear what I'm saying? The conscious mind controls the subconscious mind. It kind of feels and looks like, in the messages we hear, it seems like it's the other way around. It's not. What I mean by that is right now, you making a decision. For example, if you're manifesting a specific person, I am the version of self in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. And you say that with conviction, as if I know that's true. I know I am this self. I know I am in the reality where I am in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I know that's who I am. The authority in those words, I am. The authority in that, the power behind that. That when you make a statement like that, an affirmation like that, and you say it with authority, you are, without a doubt, dictating a new rule to your subconscious mind. Think about that. Think about that. And with a little bit of love and grace, if you would really take a look at all the wavering you're probably doing or have been doing, or if you're new to all this, I'm sure your mind has been all over the damn place. Hello to a whole new world. If you would become more aware of where your mind really goes, and you start directing it to the places in your awareness of what I want and what I am claiming that I will have, life is going to change for you. Live constantly from the inner conviction, never stooping to anything less than the all good. And you will soon discover that something is taking place that never took place before in your experience. Do not try to make things happen. Simply know that they are happening. Daily realize your unity with the whole and the unity of the whole with you. Take that with you. Take that little nugget with you today. If you would put your time, your awareness on who you want to be and declare that to yourself with authority, with conviction, you are going to change. And so will your 3D world. And that's Poop confirming that with us. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.